Dominic Misteryo takes a shot at IYO Sky following Liv Morgan's actions on WWE RAW. Dominic Misteryo has taken a shot at IYO Sky after her recent tag team outing against the Judgment Day's Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Sky teamed up with Dakota Kai against Morgan and Rodriguez this past Monday on Raw. The Damage Control duo walked out with the win, as the Genius of the Sky got one over the former WWE Women's World Champion, who defeated her to qualify for the 2025 Women's Elimination Chamber match done on Instagram. Misteryo reacted to WWE, sharing a clip of Morgan slapping Sky during their tag team match. He referenced former UFC fighter Jorge Masvidal, claiming that the slap from Morgan was super necessary. Dominic Misteryo reflected on his WrestleMania losing streak. Dominic Misteryo is currently 0-3 at WrestleMania, but is determined to get his first win at the grandest stage of them all. Speaking to Sportskeeda Wrestling, the 27-year-old promised to get a win if he gets himself on the WrestleMania 41 match card. He said, "Of course. What do you think? I want to be defeated at WrestleMania? No, I'm what? 0-3 at WrestleMania? So for whatever reason, if I find myself at WrestleMania this year in Las Vegas, it's going to be 1-3. I promise you that." Dominic Misteryo faced his dad, Rey Mysterio, at WrestleMania 39 in a highly anticipated match between the father-son duo. Rey was victorious over his son after interferences from the Judgment Day, Latino World Order, and Bad Bunny. The former NXT North American champion currently finds himself involved in a feud with AJ Styles, whom he confronted on the latest edition of Monday Night Raw. The two superstars also brawled after their face-off, and Mysterio's Judgment Day stablemate Carlito also got himself involved. WWE has confirmed a singles match between Mysterio and Styles on the upcoming edition of Raw. Dominic Misteryo to turn babyface after Finn Balor and Liv Morgan reunite with old friend? Potential Judgment Day twist explored. Dominic Misteryo has done some of the best work of his career as a heel, generating a lot of buzz among the WWE Universe over the past few months. Aligned with the Judgment Day, the star has turned out to become a great heel in the company, making headlines around the world with his antics. However, it could be time for Mysterio to turn face, with Finn Balor and Liv Morgan seemingly reuniting with AJ Styles to form a new Judgment Day. The Phenomenal One returned to WWE at the Royal Rumble and delivered a powerful promo this week on Raw, while Styles spoke about his injury and his plans following his return. Dominic Misteryo interrupted him and tried to assert the dominance of the Judgment Day on the Red brand. AJ Styles has already danced with the stable in the past, with a massive feud with his former friend Finn Balor. Running the story back again makes no sense. Rather, a massive twist could bring the faction back to relevance and put some spotlight on Dominic as well. Back when former WWE superstar Edge formed the Judgment alongside Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, AJ Styles joined forces with Finn Balor and Liv Morgan to take the faction down. Though Balor turned his back on Styles and Morgan to join the Judgment Day, things could turn the other way around this time. Balor and Morgan both could realign with their former friend, Styles, to form a new Judgment Day. Turning their back on Dominic Misteryo, the trio could generate a lot of buzz as the biggest heels in the company. Further, this could end up making Dominic a face and potentially take down the faction. Dominic Misteryo teased a feud with TNA champion recently. Apart from massive character work, Dominic has also managed to make headlines with his interview and podcast appearances. In a recent interview on the Battleground podcast, Misteryo addressed a TNA stint and teased a massive feud with TNA champion Joe Hendry. "I can't say I'm too focused on anybody in TNA, but I don't like to say his name. I think we know who we're talking about. I'm not going to say his name. He just beat Dolph. I've beaten Dolph. So yeah, I'll just leave that at that," he said. While Dominic Misteryo versus Joe Hendry seems like a massive rivalry, a TNA stint doesn't seem to the possible with WrestleMania on the horizon. Time will tell what WWE has in store for the former tag team champion next. Did Liv Morgan really get injured on WWE RAW? The truth revealed after a horrific spot. The opening match of the latest edition of WWE Monday Night Raw featured a women's tag team bout between Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus IYO Sky and Dakota Kai. The entire match was a back-and-forth affair, but as it neared its conclusion, the Miracle Kid found herself in a dangerous position. leaving fans concerned about her health. Last week, the former women's world champion secured a clever victory against Sky when Rhea Ripley attacked her during the match, prompting the referee to award Morgan a DQ, win over the genius of the Sky.IYO. Liv Morgan WWE injury update following RW between the two, Tiffany and Rhea. I think I'd rather see Rhea, because she and Rhea had such an incredible match 2 years ago. They haven't had a match like that in women's division that I've seen on TV anywhere. Rhea won the match, but it was the best match on the show. It was incredible. Following a bloody match on WWE Monday Night Raw, a new report has revealed an injury update on Liv Morgan. On the February 10th edition of WWE RAW, Damage CTRL's IYO Sky and Dakota Kai defeated Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez of the Judgment Day. During the course of the bout, Morgan suffered an apparent injury where she came up bleeding after a knee from Sky. Later in the program, Morgan was sporting a big bruise on her face during a backstage segment after the tag team bout. Fightful Select, subscription required, provided an update, noting that word backstage was Liv Morgan appeared to be okay, but may need stitches. The report reads, Liv Morgan got busted open by a knee, but word backstage was that she appeared to be okay, but may need stitches. Morgan will face Bianca Belair, Bayley, and 3 other participants in the Women's Elimination Chamber match at the titular event on March 1st. Kairi Sane sends a message to Liv Morgan. WWE star shares brutal fallout of serious injury. WWE superstar Kairi Sane recently took to social media to send a message to former women's world champion Liv Morgan. The Judgment Day star suffered a brutal injury on this week's Monday Night Raw during the latest episode of the Red Brand. Liv Morgan teamed up with Raquel Rodriguez to face Damage CTRL's IYO Sky and Dakota Kai. All of the women involved in the bout put on an amazing display, but the match ultimately ended in Sky and Kai's favor. However, during the bout, Morgan suffered a brutal injury near her eye and started bleeding heavily. Following the show, the Judgment Day star had to get several stitches to close up her wound. She recently took to X/Twitter to show off her injury. This post caught Kairi Sane's attention, and she uploaded a photo of a similar eye injury that she had suffered in September last year while competing against Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. The Damage Control member also sent a message to Morgan with several emojis. Former WWE writer reacted to Liv Morgan's brutal injury on Raw. During a recent edition of Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw, former WWE writer Vince Russo reacted to Liv Morgan's brutal eye injury, saying that he believed she was extremely tough for a person of her stature. Did you see that nasty gash on Liv Morgan's eye, man? Wow, she is tough. I gotta give you that, man. That was a nasty gash on her eye. Did you see how that happened, Chris? I wasn't watching closely enough. I mean, she had like a boxer's cut. I mean, wow. She is tough, man. Liv Morgan is tough for a girl her size, and that was nasty. Liv Morgan has qualified for this year's Women's Elimination Chamber match. It will be interesting to see what WWE has planned for the Judgment Day star's future. Liv Morgan smiles through the pain after suffering a nasty cut on WWE RAW. It was a rough night for Liv Morgan Monday on Raw, who suffered both insult and injury. In a tag team match pitting her and Raquel Rodriguez against IYO Sky and Dakota Kai of Damage Control, Morgan was pinned by Sky. But before that, she suffered a gnarly cut just over her right eye during the final minutes of the match. Rodriguez and Morgan paired up for some unique tandem offense. Rodriguez scooped Morgan up as if she was going to powerbomb her. Instead, she used Morgan as a weapon, swinging her body into the ribs of Sky, then Kai. Morgan's injury appeared to occur right after she collided with Sky. However, she started holding her face after hitting Dakota later. After Morgan blasted Kai with Oblivion, Sky plowed through her with a running knee lift. That incapacitated Morgan for several moments, who was briefly checked on by the referee. Ultimately, Sky put Morgan down for the 3 count with her signature moonsault.